Hi everyone! Today we're going to discuss the lesson which entitled What We Teach in Literature Too. And let's focus on the elements of poetry which is sound patterns, including rhythm, meter, and rhyme scheme. So these are the topics that we will learn for this lesson. So let's go for learning! Sound pattern, or sometimes called sound play, refers to the creative combination of words of expression to enhance sense impression because it takes advantage of the performative and spoken nature of poetry. So now we're gonna take a look at rhythm. Rhythm is something that you're probably not familiar with, right? But you definitely can feel the rhythm when you listen to a song that you like. It's basically the beat, so boom chicka boom is the example that I put over here. Rhythm refers to the rise and fall of the stress of the syllable. This means that the certain words in the poem are used more forcefully than others. It gives poetry a musical feel, can be fast or slow depending on the mood and subject of poem. You can measure rhythm by counting the beats in its line. So let's find some rhythm with this example. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above, the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. I've made this essay for you because I've underlined and bolded the rhythm. Now, remember a syllable is one sound, it's opening up the mouth basically. So, in the word twinkle, twinkle, we have two syllables. So sometimes it may be a whole word that has the beat, and sometimes it may be just part of the word. So I'm going to put a slash through the stressed syllable, and it will help us hear the beat. I'm gonna read like this. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above, the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So the bit is dum da da dum da da dum da da dum, and every line in this poem has the same number of syllables, which actually pretty common in poetry for there to be patterns of syllable in every line, or in different lines of the poem, and that creates a bit. Now, if we don't read it like that, it's too hard. So, if you're not really thinking about it, as you're reading it and you're just kind of running the lines together, you won't hear that rhythm. But when you read the poem, like how I read the poem earlier, you hear the rhythm. If you read it kind of slowly and truthfully, you kind of hear that boom. That was the rhythm is. So the next thing we're gonna look is the meter. Meter. It is the regularity of the rhythm. How many times in one line are there unstressed, stressed, or stressed and unstressed syllables? If there are only one foot, for example, an unstressed, a stressed syllable is the meter of monometer. If there are two feet, for example, unstressed, stressed, stressed, unstressed meter is dating time. If there are three, four, five, or six, we classify the meter triameter, tetrameter, heptameter, and hexameter. So let these things put into practice, and let's look a line of the poetry. The goal is to finish the sentence. This line is written in the certain rhythm and certain meter. So this is the first line of I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. So for the rhythm, let's identify the sequence of the stress in a stress syllable. You may find it helpful to recite the line out loud and then listen for where the stress syllables are. The first syllables is unstressed followed by stressed and so on. So we know have an iambic foot. We know when that we have an iambic rhythm. Now we find the meter. How many iambic feet do we have? How many times do we have an stressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable? Well, you may find that useful to count the stressed syllables on your fingers. as you listen to yourself. Let's read again. I wandered lonely as a cloud. There are four groups of unstressed stressed syllables. So if we go back and check out the meter table, we have four syllables that is tetrameter, right? Which you can say I've marked out on here. That's how we identify meter of the line. Last and foremost, we're gonna look at the rhyme scheme, one of my favorite element of sound. Rhyme scheme is a pattern of rhymes at the end of each line of the poem. To determine the rhyme scheme, we use to the words that rhyme using the letters of the alphabet. The first line should start with letter A, followed by B, C, and so on. Remember that each time to change rhyme, another letter is introduced. Let's start with an easy example. Roses are red, violet are blue, CGMS is the best, and so are you. Notice how the words at the end of each rhyme are labeled with a letter, depending on the rhyme scheme. Also, notice how the word read is labeled, like red to the A, blue to the B, best to the C. However, letter B are double because blue and U follows the same rhyme scheme. So as you can see, this poem follows A, B, C, B. Let's have another example. Let me read you this. A robin sitting in the tree turned her head and winked at me. She sang a song as if to say, I'm glad to see you here today. Here is nothing quite so peaceful as the sound of gentle men. Piper, piper, pitiful against my window pane. The first stanza followed the pattern AABB of the rhyme scheme, and it's too different from the second one, which is the rhyme scheme is A, B, C, D. So that's it. We're done discussing one of the elements of poetry, which is sound, including rhythm, meter, rhythm scheme. So thank you for listening.